Okay, everybody, I've been following this little teeny tiny issue you might have heard of. Oroville Dam spillway, things bursting wide open, emergency spillway. It destroyed the little concrete, spillway that they built many, many years ago. I've been reading stories on this thing, how there was a problem. They showed pictures from several years ago where there were some cracks and stuff. There's a couple, workers standing there. Well, we didn't, and nowadays, we didn't know there was any issue. What is this, Flint, Michigan all over again? 2 years you guys knew that the water was poisonous with lead in it. Oh, we didn't know. All I have to say, massive webbot hit. And I said, let me go pick through the reports since December 2015 till current, which is every single month. So January, February, all the way to December of 2016, and then these last couple of months here in 2017. Because I said, I remember, matter of fact, I remember even before 2016, Webbot was talking about a major dam bursting. A big dam, it's going to be bursting, massive flood. It kept thinking it was China, that maybe the Three Gorges Dam or whatever over there, because it was one of the largest ones in the world. Maybe it is the largest one in the world. But that was a few years ago. More recently, as of last year, dam, bursting, flood, this kind of thing, back in the Webbot reports. And there was a lot of flooding this, flooding that, flooding. But I was searching for the word dam, D-A-M, and it would pick up things like damage, and I kept looking around there to see what was there, and I found some very relevant stuff in the Webbot reports, and then I found the Holy Grail. Dam was in there, as in bursting dam. And I saved it for last. So, I know it sounds crazy. Oh, Webbot. Someone told me the other day, oh, you read this stuff, you're losing credibility, Joe Schnipfor. You read this Webbot stuff, you're losing credibility. Let me know if this makes my credibility go up a tiny bit. Just a hair. Considering that this dam just started leaking very recently, which then turned into a massive flood. 200 approximately 1,000 people. Not, we think you should leave. You have to leave. It's enforced. Get out. Leave. Flee. Here's another word you might have heard from the Webbot report in the past. Diaspora. Rapidly leaving people is what it was talking about. Don't know that this is that. Don't know. Matter of fact, I'm going to say I don't even think so. But it's in another part of the Webbot report that this absolutely is in. So I'm starting with December 2016, then May 2016. Not that it was just in the order I picked it, not for any reason. And then June 2016, followed finally by July of 2016. So how long ago was July 2016? 8 months ago, approximately, right? So for the word about electricity, power generation failure, dam failure, are you going to tell me that this thing just got lucky? This Webbot report just got lucky. I heard someone say this on my channel the other day. It talks about so much stuff happening in the world. Of course, it's going to get something right. This is a hell of a thing to accidentally, kind of, sort of, by coincidence, get it right. If you know what I mean. When's the last time you ever heard about something like this happening? Especially in America, and at this epic level. So, December 2016. Other Terra sets. Again, I'm going to build you all the way up to the very end, because that's the one that's like the bingo, the money shot. Okay? But the reason I'm adding these in here is because these are also relevant to this kind of a thing. Other Terra sets gained support for new storms patterns over much of the northern hemisphere. Note that this has been forecast for a number of years, and the Terra entity sets as storms were going to go walkabout relative to their previously understood patterns. Now keep in mind, all I'm hearing right now about this flood, this dam, it's back down 5 or 6 feet now, which it's kind of okay. We can't let anyone back in yet, of course, because we got more storms coming that may flood it with more water, and then we may have worst epic scenario 2.0. So no one can come back in yet, still mandatory evacuation. So the question is, why was this thing getting so high and flooding in the first place? It was completely abnormal. We didn't know there was so much water, the storms, the runoff, this, that, all kinds of stuff. And by the way, I didn't include this in any other web video or any video recently. It was either Thursday or Friday of last week, I think, in radio, in the car. And I'm listening to someone calling in from, I think, Boston. I think they were from Boston. And there's like, yeah, we're snowed in. It's a massive, epic snowstorm over here. We can't leave, where they were at. And he says, but just yesterday it was beautiful outside. It was 60 degrees outside. I'm sorry, but didn't the webbot tell you that was going to come too? Literally the day before, decent weather or some kind of weather, and then the next day, all like, what the hell just happened? Why, yes, it did. I'm throwing that in here now because it's in the webbot reports. So we must note that this is both about storms being forecast as extra seasonal and jumping the season too early by far, as well as human perceptions of patterns. These sets taken together are being interpreted as both new storm seasons as well as a new mindset within humanity about storm patterns and seasons as a direct result of the season jumping storms of 2017. Note that this jumping seasonal patterns is forecast as increasing shipping related insurance claims and storm damage claims of higher than usual magnitudes. This last is due to the unprepared conditions. Unprepared. You mean like building a dam you thought could handle certain amounts of water and then finding out later that little one-off storm type of things coming and ruin your day? Maybe. Maybe not. There are still several sets in differing areas continuing to gain support for earthquakes and infrastructure damage. The infrastructure damage is showing as including several energy/power plants. The damage is going to force alterations in some of these central authorities' plans. Well, this little dam, as you are well aware, there's a little power generation station that had to be turned off that this thing fed over there. So that's interesting. May 2016 report. Other factors within the new data sets that are forecast to have an impact on the precious metals market include the earthquake that is still forecast for China, although location may be incorrect, in which the side or after effects will include the shutting down of many of the world's mines. Some of these will cease operations due to insurance issues, others due to safety concerns, others due to collapsed tunnels, and others, including pit mines, are described as being flooded out by shifting aquifers. Note that these closures are not limited to China. Other economic impacts of the earthquake are described as disabling ports and breaking dams, though apparently not destroying them, more like creating threatening cracks and failure to make electricity. June 2016. Let's see. Hang on. Anyways, so that's one piece, and it mentioned, damn, no, that soda's gone. I threw it away. It was old. Sitting up there forever. I threw it away. So where was I? May 2016. Breaking dams, though apparently not destroying them, more like creating threatening cracks and failure to make electricity. Now that's interesting as hell, wouldn't you say? June 2016, the Terra entity is adding a few new wrinkles to the old standby of floods. We have flash floods showing up in large numbers of sets within the Terra and other entities. These flash floods are going to appear on 5 continents over the next few months as the flooding rivers from the sky, which you've heard numerous times. I keep getting emails almost daily. Joe, it's in there again, atmospheric rivers. They're calling it that again. It's there. So that meme gains its new strength in manifestation. These, again, June of 2016. These flash floods are showing in rural areas and cities. In all the sets, there are supporting subsets for cars and people and animals being swept away by the muddy waters rushing down. These sets include many descriptors for damage and road destruction and landscape erosion, and several of these sets are pointers to the idea that videos of major highways acting as instant riverbeds will be appearing in some number of tourists and locals as tourists and locals are fighting for their lives while rivers from the sky dump water beyond our ability to grasp. So that piece didn't necessarily mean dam, but it is feeding the dam in all these bodies of water, so to speak, right? So that's why I included it. The flash flood supporting sets for the flood, still in June 2016 robot report, set are also indicating that ports will be scrubbed away from the land and that ships and boats will not be able to dock due to damage to facilities. Many of these sets are specifically focused on river ports. The mountains backing the several river ports indicated to be washed out into the river are all described as blocking and cupping the torrential river of rain as it continues to pour out. These cupped river ports are many, with 9 separate descriptor sets able to be separated out. July 2016, the final one. The whole of the infrastructure damage subsets within the USA POP are going to other climate change damage that is indicated to comeback/blowback with exaggerated damage as the previous fix, which may involve a dam, has a pending blowout. There are many subsets that are suggesting the explosion to be inside a major electrical power plant. No, how about an explosion of that water flooding down? And they had to shut the plant down. The new growth in these sets have details about excessive heat that will not only spark fires but also sag major high-tension lines at a critical time, with a result that the lines, conduits to another state, will break and the shock to the power plant will initiate major core failure. This does not show as a nuclear power plant, rather as a hydroelectric or gas plant. The shortages issues is indicated to be greater than just the electrical energy system, in that we have subsets for shortages in foods, as in specific food types of items, and precious metals. Other sets show that rotating consumer item shortages are going to layer over the Western world as the credit freeze hits producers in the shipping/distribution system. The other day I did a video in the UK, wherever that was at. Remember that one? They cleaned the shelves off because of, again, Mother Earth weather problem with all the vegetables. Boom. Cleaned the shelves off. They couldn't reproduce. They were selling 5 cabbages for like $50. Remember that one? 50 euros for like 5 cabbages or some crap. Or maybe it was 10 cabbages, whatever it was. Ridiculously high price. So that's kind of in here. And this is from 8 months ago. July 2016. We're 2 months into this year. That was 8 months ago. Let me read that top one just one more time. I think that was spot on. The whole of the infrastructure damage subsets within the USA POP, so it even called our country USA POP, right? So it's America focused, are going to other climate change damage that is indicated to come back/blowback with exaggerated damage as the previous fix, which may involve a dam, has a pending blowout. Are you freaking kidding me? I just said in the beginning of this video, I'm about to say videos, they're not who's who. There was damage before, there wasn't. There was an issue, there wasn't. There's a guy standing there from 5 years ago looking at a damaged spot. There's a picture in the news website I saw from then. And you can see a little crack damage there. They're both analyzing it. Oh, what do we got here? And what are they saying right now in the news? This is a spot that there was an issue with. And then it caved, and it said it became a small hole. And I looked at the size of the hole and said, who the hell told them to say small hole? This is giant. There's a giant hole in this thing. And it got worse. And then the floodwater started coming over the spillway. And it just eroded the hell out of it. There's nothing. It's like nothing left. Massive amounts of water just destroying the mountainside. Again, almost somewhere around 200,000 people forced to evacuate. You have to leave. Not asking, you must go. Exaggerated damage as the previous fix, which may involve a dam, has a pending blowout. So any of the skeptics out there, you're my favorite, by the way. The skeptics are absolutely my favorite. I know, I understand that the webbot, under no circumstances, is it or probably will ever be 100% accurate. Matter of fact, nobody has. Even the greatest psychics, Edgar Casey, this Miss Baba Vanga, 44th president, will be black. He'll be the last one. Well, we have a 45th, and he's white. Oh, what? She had an 80% plus rating, accuracy rating. So, again, that's a 20% chance she got something wrong. 1 out of 5 she gets wrong. She got it wrong, apparently, right? Nostradamus, Edgar Casey, another one, phenomenal. But he wasn't 100% perfect. So, point being, they can get it wrong. This webbot isn't a psychic person. It's not Nostradamus. But the way it works, and this is how Cliff thinks it works, doesn't even, and that in itself doesn't necessarily mean it's 100% what he thinks. Sure, he developed it. He's probably got the best chance of figuring out how it actually works better than anybody else. But he thinks it's just a working theory that people, we are all psychic to some level. And when we talk, or in this case, we talk on the internet, we write, that his bots are programmed specifically to seek out certain words, not normal words, what I like to call high-profile words, and makes a prediction on them. That's his kind of his description of how that it works. It gets things wrong. This was 6 months into 2016, July, whatever, halfway through the year, plus 2 months now, 8 months. If that is not an unbelievable webbot hit, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. The whole of the infrastructure damage subsets within the USA POP are going to other climate change damage that is indicated to come back or blow back with exaggerated damage, as the previous fix, which may involve a dam, has a pending blowout. There are many subsets that are suggesting the explosion to be inside a major electrical power plant. So there are subsets that are suggesting the explosion to be inside a major electrical power plant. There was no major explosion. Matter of fact, to all of our knowledge, there was no explosion. Again, it's suggesting, other data subsets are suggesting. That doesn't mean we're telling you this 100% certain. Even if it did, even if that next line said, this will absolutely, positively be from an explosion inside a major electrical power plant. The fact that the other 2 or 3 sentences were absolutely epically spot on, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother me in the least. This thing is not perfect. It's a software program. Can you develop a robot working off software that's absolutely perfect, can make every perfect decision? Absolutely not. This goes up there, in my opinion, as one of the most epic webbot hits that I've ever seen. And I've seen some other ones, but at this point, and there's some more to come, I'm sure, this one might be taking the cake for me. Take care.